Hello everybody, welcome back to NCAA 2005. And this one is a bit of a doozy here, kind of a longer one, because there's a lot of points in this video, both for and against. So we're going to leave that completely open here and get into the video here. But this should end year number one as we have our last two games. Year number two, as this is our last two games of year number two. We are facing North Texas, kind of the pride of the Sun Belt, really, around this era at least. And then, of course, we will be playing Montana, our FCS rival, Montana, which is actually a rivalry game, recognized by the game. They don't have the trophy in the game, but they do have the rivalry listed between us and Montana, which I thought was a nice touch for the game to add here. Just kind of a little added attention to detail, something that a lot of new games don't have these days. But I think Pt.10 does a good job, but that's a different topic for a different day. Either way, last year North Texas hung 70 points on us and won the Sun Belt and won 9 games. So they are on their way to having another 9-3 season again. Of course, we could change that if we beat them here, but it does not seem likely, as North Texas already has the ball across midfield here, even though we received the opening kickoff. North Texas already with the ball and already moving pretty easily and efficiently. So 3rd and 6 now, our defense trying to keep North Texas away from the goal line and more importantly away from the first down marker, and we do a good job of that as we get in and bring their quarterback well short of the marker. So 43-yarder is going to be attempted by North Texas, and that is going to be no good. So defense actually stands up pretty tall here. And as you can see, we got a little bit more fans after winning a couple games, man. The Idaho faithful, they're showing back up here after just winning a couple games. So, but on 3rd and 9, we got to give them something to cheer for, and number 16 just throws it to the defense. So not a lot to cheer for if that's what we're going to start doing here. This could be North Texas fans. They could travel well. I doubt it, but, you can't rule it out. Anyway, on offense now, North Texas, the mean green here. Pressure in the face of the quarterback, but he throws up an absolute lob, a prayer of a ball, and somehow in double coverage, the receiver comes down with that. That was a complete jump ball with 2 different defenders in the area, and somehow the receiver came down with it. On the next play, they're going to hand it off to their running back, and he's going to get into the end zone here, trying to jive through a couple of open spots on the line, and he finds an opening to get into the end zone for the first points of the game. So our defense fought pretty resiliently in the first quarter, but ultimately North Texas was finally able to strike and get on the board here. But 7-0, so it's still a manageable game here in the second quarter as both offenses still struggling to really find some rhythm. And now number 6 with a nice run up the middle of the field here to get across the first down sticks, who's back in action in this game after, we saw a couple injuries he sustained in the last video here on his hip and his knee, but he is still here and working through it. So 3rd and 8 now, number 16 fires one across the middle and finds number 19, who catches that inside the 5. And now we are looking to hopefully cash in on a nice drive here and answer back to North Texas. So said before, we've seen a little bit of resilience here in the first half with this team, but things always seem to curtail. So hopefully we can get away from that as our defense has been able to kind of limit North Texas's damage here in this first half by quite a bit. Now we finally answer back with points of our own on a fullback dive. So we're going to be looking at a tie ball game here with just a little bit over 2 minutes left in the first half. It's a good spot to be in. So with 2 minutes and some change, North Texas now, number 12, lights went up here down the sideline, a huge opening, and neither of our DBs are going to be able to catch up to this receiver, and he is gone, man. And I mentioned the size differences in the last video, but this is just another one. I guess just every receiver in the Sun Belt just seems to dwarf all of our cornerbacks by about 4 or 5 inches and maybe 100 pounds. I mean, it's just, look at this, night and day. But yeah, 87 had the absolute speed. Actually, it might be a name. I think North Texas does have a few new recruits that are starting on their team. A lot of true freshmen across the roster. So their quarterback is returning, but I think they have a couple of receivers and defensive players who are not. So, but we have to punt the ball away to North Texas, but a huge mistake by their punt return as he fumbles this one. So we have great field position now, flipping the field. But after some negative plays here, we got to pick up the first down on 3rd and 11. We managed to do it as number 16 is able to find number 19 for another huge first down, and he's kind of leading the charge here and a receiving core here early in this game here. So, but ultimately we stall out, and we're going to have to go for a field goal. And so 10-14 is going to be your score here, just under a minute, or rather close to 30 seconds left in the first half. So we do answer back to North Texas, not a full touchdown here, but we do answer back a little bit. But North Texas will not be silenced as that ball was nearly tipped. 81 was able to get to it before our DB was, or safety was, and so it's a first down. And North Texas, with some time left to go, still looking to get into the end zone, and kind of a weird, wonky pass play ends up in a huge touchdown for the Mean Green. As a weird throw across the body here, 46-yard pass, and that was just kind of a weird route that the receiver ran, but it worked out very well for them. Worked out very, very well for them. Look at that. All the defense bunched up in the middle of the field here, kind of thrown off by the routes that that North Texas was running. So 21-10 is now the score, which is 12 seconds left to go. Surely no more madness could happen, right? As number 19 fields the kick return, and after a spin move, he's going to cough up the football on the return, and North Texas is going to land on top of it in our territory. So now, with 7 seconds left to go, North Texas is just going to send out the kicking unit and just try and add 3 more points, and they do. So they take an 11-point game and turn it into a 14-point game after a special teams blunder from 19 again, who's already fumbled a couple kickoffs in his time at that position. So 24-10 now the score here at the end of the first half. And remember, it was 7-0 heading into the second quarter. So quickly, the game kind of becomes a completely different story. And so on this pass play here, number 19 gets injured. So he sustains an injury on this jump ball here where both receiver and DB got a hand on it, but he's going to walk off of the field here injured. And here I included this. You can see he torn his shoulder. So he's going to be out for 7 weeks. I mean, obviously, this is the end of the year, so he's going to be out for the rest of this. But a huge blow to our offense to lose number 19. So a couple plays later on a 3rd and 7, it's going to be a handoff to North Texas' running back, and he's got plenty of open space, and he's going to get brought down out of bounds at about the 5 or 4 yard line. And so we had him pretty much dead to rights at midfield, and they get a complete new lease on life offensively here as they were able to get to the outside edge. And look at this, just plenty of open space and just a foot race. I don't know how he didn't get into the end zone. I guess really just didn't have the sauce like I thought he did. But so cut to a 2nd and goal here for North Texas, and it's going to be a handoff, and that one is going to be a touchdown for the Mean Green. So North Texas finally starting to really kind of open things up here. I don't know if we'll have the steam here to maybe add any points in retaliation, but the third quarter is going to come to a close. We do add a field goal here, so 31-13 is your score. Not a whole lot of scoring in the third quarter, but North Texas still kind of comfortably in the lead here. Early in the fourth quarter, they have a goal-to-go situation here. Another awkward throw to the flat, but it is caught, and it turns into a touchdown for North Texas. So their offense is just continuing to roll here as our defense is kind of stalled out. And maybe the injuries are a little bit too much to keep up with. We do have an injury to our starting left tackle, which is one of the better players on our offense. I think he is the best player on our offense, so he's gone. But number 16 throws another dot to the defense here, just not looking good. Not looking good as the turnovers are starting to stack up here for Idaho. So not only are we playing kind of uninspired football, but we are really lacking in protecting the football as well. So making a ton of mistakes, really can't afford that. And another huge passing touchdown for North Texas's offense. Things are really just kind of getting out of hand here for the Vandals on both sides of the football. Just don't really have the sauce to keep up with the pace that the Mean Green are really playing at here. So the game is going to end. North Texas would add even more pointage, and 52-13 is going to be the score as the Vandals would struggle to do anything else. So this is probably the most full that we've seen the Kiwi Dome since we started this, and it's probably going to go right back to pretty darn empty immediately following this game. I wouldn't be shocked. But hopefully some people show up for the rivalry against Montana. I think in real life, the Kiwi Dome will probably be packed for that game, regardless of what the record says. But in this game, obviously, EA Sports is going to make sure that it's pretty empty here in the Kiwi Dome. So, be aware of that. But I decided to not show the player stats. I think I did the same thing in the last video. But I decided to not show the player stats just because there's not really a whole lot to really look at. No one on our team is really doing a whole lot of anything that was really worth looking at. And obviously, North Texas was lighting things up. So, there's not much to focus on there either. We turned the ball over a lot. We had a lot of third down opportunities and didn't capitalize on maybe half of them, but that's about it. So we're heading into this game against Montana. Now, at this point, I really thought, I was like, dude, I have no idea what a game against an FCS opponent for this roster is going to look like. You know what I mean? Because we still, for the most part, Idaho never really stopped being a FCS team in transition, but that's exactly what kind of they are. So heading right into the gameplay now for this game, and we get a huge huge pickup here from Patrick Wilkerson, number 85. He's one of our freshman receivers. And now a lot of these guys are going to start getting some reps because, we have just so many injuries across the team now with number 19 out. Our starting left tackle is out as well. And I think there's another important injury, too, that I'm not remembering that is sustained as well. So cut to a 3rd and 1 here. We're going to fake the handoff 16, going to flip this one out the other way and airmails that one over the receiver's head. But there is a holding call. So instead of declining it for the 4th and 1, they're going to accept it and push this back to a 3rd and 11. And make us try this one again. So I'll take another chance on a 3rd down. Why not? And I know Tom Lynch will take another stab at it. So number 16 drops back. Pressure is on. He steps up in the pocket and lights this one up here. Fires it off to the right side. And he finds Dylan Lawrence, another freshman receiver, who, again, like I said, is going to get all these guys are going to get quite a bit of reps here, just because of how thin we are at that position. So number 6 here is going to take this one on the ground himself, and he's going to get into the end zone for a touchdown, a Vandal touchdown. Is that number 6? I think it is. It's hard to tell because at this distance here, because I think he is still playing. I think we do still have him here. I guess we'll get a closer look, but I believe he is still playing. He might be injured longer term, but and we might have number 1 back there, but we're trying everybody out basically at this point. So 3rd and 14 for Montana. They're going to try and get something going on offense here. Quarterback's got all day to throw. Finds an open receiver along the sideline who cuts up field and gets inside the 35. Gets brought in at about the 31 of Idaho. So Montana is moving the ball here. They're not going to struggle to move the football this early on. So 1st and 10 here. The quarterback stands firm in the pocket. Pressure is getting to him. He gets rid of it quickly here for another Montana 1st down. So the Grizz moving the ball here with a little bit of ease on this Vandal defense, which has struggled a lot this year. So cut to a 3rd and 16. They're finally applying some pressure onto the Grizzlies' necks here, but it's still another huge completion here right by the pylon, and that's going to get him out of bounds. And there you see the quarterback comparison. Number 16 not even playing that well of a game right now, despite the 7-0 lead. So with goal to go here, Montana's going to try and throw for it, and why not when it works that well? So that's going to be another touchdown for the Grizz. And look at this. They're going to dance on us, man. Look at this, man. That's some FCS swag they're bringing to the Kiwi Dome. And hey, man, this ain't new to them. Montana in this Idaho rivalry, this is definitely not new. I would have looked up the stats for it, but we went right into the game, so I don't have any rivalry stats. We will play Montana again, so do not worry about it. We definitely will play Montana again in the future. So the game is now tied at 7 apiece after 1 quarter here, so Idaho on offense needs to pick things up. And number 16 is the kind of pickup that we needed. A huge deep shot here, and that is off to the races for a touchdown. Could not see which receiver it was, but regardless, it is a huge touchdown for this Idaho offense, and we really needed that boost on offense to kind of keep us going here. So, huge play. And that might have been number 1, the running back. It might have been. Yeah, I think it was number 1, the running back. Who might actually be playing. Number 6 might actually not be playing. So, first, that might be the 3rd injury I forgot about. I think number 6 might actually be injured. So, but Montana is moving the football here, but not after a fumble like that, and that's going to get picked up by the Vandals. So, another huge pass play by Montana, nullified by a boneheaded mistake. And so, if Montana cannot protect the football, this game could get out of hand for them, because it looks like holding on to the ball might be their best option right about now. Because they've moved the ball pretty effectively. As you can see, the passing comparison, they have as many yards as we do. So they've moved the ball as easily as we have, but making mistakes like that is going to make it hard to stay in the game, especially when number 16 is lining up some dots like that. I believe to Dylan Lawrence once again, number 82, who gets the first touchdown I think that we've seen from him, that we've witnessed. So cool to see that our freshman receivers are finally feasting here. It is against an FCS opponent, but again, like I said, I mean, these guys are all like in the high 50s, low 60s. So it's not like we have like 3-star recruits right now showing out against 1 and 2 stars. That's not what this is at all, believe me. They're all the same caliber just about. So 21-7 is the score here, but we're going to hand this one off, and a huge pickup on the ground, and it is another touchdown. This time a rushing touchdown, so we're getting everything involved on all aspects of the game. And I believe it is number 1 who is playing. I think number 6 is out, so I think number 6 was around maybe in the last game. I could have just been wrong the whole time. I think number 6 might be out long term. But I could have sworn that when he got injured in the last video, I thought it was just for the week. But it could have been for the remainder of the season that I just missed. So another interception or mistake by Montana here. It is an interception. And this one's got a chance here to go the entire distance as our DB was able to get around the edge here And number 38 had the step that he needed to get into open space, and so that's going to be a pick six. So we're scoring in all types of ways now, special teams, or rather defense, rushing, passing, and now on special teams, Montana has to punt this away in their own end. And look at this fancy spin move and into the end zone. It's a punt return. Oh my goodness, we got a punt return. Can you guys believe? Did you think you'd see a punt return? And there is number 6. Okay, so I'm tweaking, guys. I'm completely tweaking. I don't know who's running the football. I have no idea. I've got no idea. But number 6 does get a punt return, so that's what that means. And then another turnover from Montana. A strip sack as 48 gets inside, lays the lumber down on Montana's quarterback, and he's going to cough up the football here. So a huge boneheaded mistake by Montana, and now the turnovers are starting to really stack up here, and the mistakes overall are starting to stack up even higher for the Grizz, as they just cannot seem to get out of their own way in the second quarter. And mind you, it is still the second quarter, okay? It is still the second quarter. It's 42-7 in the second quarter, and there's plenty of time left. And so a handoff now is in the end zone, and number 6 or number 1, it's number 6. It's number 6. I think it's always been number 6. Ignore me completely. I'm tweaking. It's the end of the year. We're finally blowing an opponent out. I don't care that it's an FCS opponent. It is still a rivalry. This game means something to the Idaho faithful. Put some respect on this game. Either way, on offense once again here, number 16 continues to just lay out some dots, man, some absolute dots. But unfortunately, Clifford Lindsay is injured on that play. So it's a clinic, man. It's an absolute clinic. I think Clifford Lindsay would be okay. He would return to the game, but he did sustain a bit of an injury. So next man up. Next man up. And so on first and goal here, number 16 flips this one out to Patrick Wilkerson in the back of the end zone for another Vandal touchdown. And we are just completely pouring it on to the Grizz, man. This is going to be a statement victory for the Little Brown Stein. We are absolutely going to make a statement victory here for our rivalry. We're taking that trophy and we're keeping it here in Moscow. So 56-7 is the score. There is still time in the first half, believe it or not. And Montana's not done, baby. They're not done. A huge pickup. And Coach, man, Lynch is absolutely just pissed. Coach, please, you're up by 49 points. Please, it's okay. Everything will be fine. On a third down here, Montana desperately trying to get into the end zone, and that pass is errant. And Tom Lynch is happy about it. He's like, yeah, that's what the defense is supposed to do. I want to keep them as few points as possible. He's trying to run the score up. Montana's going to go for a fake field goal. You thought they were going to take the points here. Kind of a pathetic, weak thing to do, but no, they're gonna go run a fake field goal, and it's got no chance. There's absolutely zero chance. So a minute left to go in the first half. And that's I mean, we're just going to take it into the locker room. Why not? We're up 56-7 on the Grizz, en route to our 4th win of the year. Doesn't matter if it's an FCS win. It still means something to us. But now we have the backups just getting involved and doing whatever the hell they want. As number 26 gets into the end zone. I don't think we've seen a single snap from number 26 this year. And dude, there's a lot of unnecessary, not unnecessary roughness. But unsportsmanlike conduct. I couldn't remember the penalty. I'm struggling on it. There's a lot of unsportsmanlike conduct penalties in this game. A lot of guys just seem to be dancing. Even Montana grabbed one after their one touchdown. So they do add a field goal, but we were up 63-10, and another rushing touchdown. This time it's number 1 who's getting busy, man. Everyone's touching the football, man. Everyone is touching it. Maybe that's why I got confused, because I knew that number 1 got involved running-wise in this game at some point. Just wasn't sure when. So 69-10, nice on top of Montana. But we're still not done. Is number 7. He wants to get in on the action, man, and throws this one to the end zone. I think that was Patrick Wilkerson again. We don't have the depth at receiver, so I think all of our freshmen still just have to stay in the game and keep playing. But all of our quarterbacks are getting in. All of our running backs are getting involved. So it is just an absolute clinic right now. We are just completely pouring it on to the Grizz. 76-10, man, and we're still not done. It's a handoff to number 1. He's got some open space. Beautiful spin move. Throws him out of his ankles, and he's off to the races. Look at this run play. Why couldn't we do this all year? Probably because we're not playing FCS opponents every game. I tried to play multiple, but the game doesn't let you schedule multiple, so I think the older games will, but NCAA05 will not let you schedule multiple FCS opponents. Can't they see I'm trying to pad my win-loss record here? Can't they tell that I'm desperate for wins here? But anyway, we do pick up a win here against the Grizz for a 4-8 season, man. 83 points on top of the Grizz. They might not forget this one. If I could add FCS teams and like conference realignment, if I could add Montana, maybe I guess to the Sun Belt. I don't know. It'd be fun. We could play them every year. It could be a fun thing to do in the future, but But yeah, we do dump this one on Montana. I will probably try to preserve this rivalry. I think I'll probably try and play Montana State next year. What I'm going to try and start doing is adding more Big Sky opponents to our schedule, and that'll be our FCS game until we don't need to play FCS opponents anymore. That's when I'll stop doing that. But we definitely still need the wins here, so I'm going to continue to schedule these kind of games. And so here's a breakdown of the stats in case you want to know just how crazy things were. In the player stats, dude, our offense did not do that well. Our quarterback did not play that well. Number 16 didn't have that great of stats. Number 6 didn't have that great of stats. All the turnovers and mistakes is where all the numbers came from. That's what made it so weird. The running back for LSU, which again I think is a famous NFL running back. I don't know off the top who that is, but he does win the Heisman. And Tennessee beats a 3-loss Ohio State for the national championship. Now obviously Ohio State was 9-2 heading into that game. So yeah, only played 11 games, won. And yeah, so anyway, we'll get into all that in the offseason video in the next video. So hope to see y'all there when we cover it.